Okay, name some movies that had great or good first two entries in their trilogies, and then once the third movie came out, they completely fumbled it in every imaginable way possible. I'll start. So first we have X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Apocalypse, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. We have Cloverfield Paradox, Blade Trinity, Godfather Part 3, Fantastic Beasts, Terminator Rise of the Machines, and even the Kissing Booth movies. And yes, the Kissing Booth movies are damn good, so don't you judge those whatsoever. But not only do we have those movies that completely fumbled their trilogies, now we have MaXXXine fucking Manx. Such a disappointment. She has so much potential. This girl has so much potential to have a great trilogy on her hands. But she fumbled it. Unfortunately, she fumbled it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my review. It's MaXXXine. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for MaXXXine, starring Mia Goth, Elizabeth Debicki, Kevin Bacon, Lily Collins, and was directed by Ty West. And our story follows MaXXXine, our favorite psychotic serial killer, or one of our favorites from most recent years. And essentially, she is just trying to make it in Hollywood, working her ass off in different jobs until she can get her big break to become that fucking movie star that she so rightfully thinks she deserves. Which, I mean, she has the right to think that. You know, she's just bad shit crazy, but she has all the right to think that. And what goes on in this film here is surrounded by the theme of the Night Stalker, which was true events that actually happened in LA. It's surrounded by that, but basically MaXXXine's past is catching up with her, and someone is trying to pin all these murders that have to deal with MaXXXine on the Night Stalker, which I'm not sure if that made sense to you, but trust me, honestly, the movie doesn't make much sense either, or at least it's not really trying to. Basically, there are two things going on here. MaXXXine is trying to make it in Hollywood and fulfill that dream that we've been trying to see her chase since the first two movies, and on the second, there's a killer on the loose, and it has to deal with MaXXXine's past. It's all you really need to know. But like I said in my intro, I'm going to try to stop talking in this accent. Like I said in my intro, this movie was very disappointing. To say the least, it just did not do the first two movies any justice whatsoever. It did not. It just did not have a satisfying conclusion whatsoever. Now, I'll start by saying this. The performances in the movie are phenomenal. They are fantastic. Mia Goth is amazing, per usual. The opening sequence with this girl, literally just walking in a room, completely owning it, and then doing her audition flawless. Mia Goth is amazing as this character, MaXXXine. And then you have Kevin Bacon, who did a really good job in this movie. Elizabeth Debicki, who is always just absolutely radiant and phenomenal. And I hope I get to meet Elizabeth Debicki one day, because I want to tell her that she is one of the finest women walking on earth. But regardless, everyone does good performances in this movie. Halsey, for the time that she was in the movie, was pretty entertaining. Bobby Cannavale, I think his name is, and Michelle Monaghan, their characters were okay. They kind of annoyed me at times, and it was like a running gag that Bobby Cannavale's character was doing about wanting to be an actor, but he has to be a cop, and because they're in Hollywood and stuff like that. And it works for some parts of the movie, but it kind of just annoyed me in others. But overall, look, the performances in the movie are damn near perfect. Like, they're really good. That is the only thing that this movie has going for it, and it makes sense why that this is such an ensemble stacked cast. Like, it makes sense why there's so many great actors in here, because the story has absolutely nothing for you. So they needed something to keep you entertained, because the story is all over the damn place. I lie to you not. This movie is the longest hour and 40-minute movie I've ever sat through in my life. I kid you not, this movie felt like it was 2 hours and 20 minutes. This movie felt so long, I was literally begging it to end, because it just felt like So much was being thrown at me at once. I really could not keep up and could not care at all. I just could not find any interest or any care in my body, in my bones, in my flesh. I could not find any sense of a care to give about what the fuck was going on in this movie. Could not find a single one. I could honestly say I could not find a fuck to give, but it just couldn't find a care. We're just going to keep it PG. Could not find a care to give about this story whatsoever. And it really sucks because the first two movies really built a great character with a great story. As far as serial killers go, guys, calm down. She's not a great person, but it's a great character to follow in horror movie lore. But regardless, the first two movies really built an amazing character. They had very intriguing stories, especially Pearl. Pearl, I was so attached to her beginnings and how she had to get out of her home in the first place, and it really just had me thinking MaXXXine was going to be one of the best endings to a trilogy, not of all time, but just one of the best ones, and it most certainly was not. It completely fumbled in every sense of the way. I mean, when I say this thing was weak, it was weak, and it's mainly for story purposes. It's just, there's so much going on at once. I read a tweet where a guy literally said there's like 500 storylines to keep up with at once, and then somebody commented there's only 2 storylines, which, he was being a smartass, because yes, there are technically only 2 storylines, but what the guy was trying to say in that tweet is it feels like there's 500 different things going on at once, and I knew exactly what he meant when I watched this movie. Because when I found out that this movie was only an hour and 40 minutes, I was thoroughly confused. Because it felt like I was sitting there for so much longer. I mean, it was just so much going on. I couldn't care less about the killer. I couldn't care less about the way they revealed it. It was just like they really didn't know how to finish this thing off, and it just had so many different themes in the background with like satanic culture and religion and things like that, and then it had just so much going on with MaXXXine's story. Then she's trying to make it, then you have to keep up with these other characters. It just becomes a lot. It just becomes a whole lot, and it's not the finale that I was expecting it to be. It's plain and simple. Look, the performances are the only thing I liked about the movie. Like I said, Mia Goth killed it. Mia Goth is amazing. I would love to see Mia Goth in a million more things. She's absolutely spectacular. Elizabeth Debicki, amazing, as always. And then Kevin Bacon, honestly, in my opinion, he stole the show at times. Kevin Bacon stole the show at times. I absolutely adored his character. But as far as the story goes, I was just not a fan. Was just not a fan of how this thing was told. The kills weren't even that entertaining. It was okay. Oh, okay, wait a second, because I just got PTSD from something I saw in this film. I now know what it would essentially feel like, or like I got a bad feeling about what it feels like to have your testicles stepped on by the heel of a shoe very aggressively. And I hate this movie for that, because I couldn't stomach my popcorn for the next 8 minutes in that film after I saw that, because to imagine getting your testicles stepped on by a heel, God help us all. Oh, God. It just feels so bad. But other than that, it actually had one really, really pretty cool kill. I'm not going to lie. It had one. But the rest, lackluster. Giancarlo Esposito as well. Giancarlo Esposito was in this movie, and he was great. But like I say in my other reviews about him, is Giancarlo Esposito ever bad at anything? I mean, this guy is just charming as fuck. And look, Ty West, great job with the first two. This one just wasn't it. Now, that's just for me personally. There may be other people that are enjoying this one, but I personally have to say it was very disappointing on a story basis. I just could not keep up with the millions of things going on. I don't know if it necessarily had to do with me watching this movie at 11 o'clock at night, but I mean, I stayed up for the entire thing, and I can't say I necessarily got bored, but I just really never found myself caring about what was going on at all. It's very disappointing to say. And look, guys, so overall, look, MaXXXine has great performances. Once again, the performances throughout this trilogy have been consistent, but the story and the landing that this trilogy personally not needed to make, but I thought it was going to make, just didn't happen. So that's just my personal opinion. It just was not a satisfying conclusion to what I thought was a very good build-up from the first two films. So it is what it is. And look, so for all those reasons and so many more, I'm going to give MaXXXine a 2 out of 5 stars. It does not please me to say that whatsoever. Okay, guys, so MaXXXine, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.